start Agile right. Let's go. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul Heidema, and I help teach, educate, and transform around Agile, around change, around organizational culture. The first step in doing Agile right is to identify a vision. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to be when you grow up? What does success look like in the long term? Once you have that vision, it's critical that you communicate and have discussions around that vision with your teams, your staff, your management as a collective to understand challenges and identify potential gains from doing this vision and to get everybody on board. The more people that are on board and excited about it, the more likely you'll achieve this vision. One point to pay attention to is that Agile should not be the vision. Agile is not the goal. Agile is not the place to be. Agile is a potential means through ways of thinking, being, doing to achieve the vision. Agile is not the goal. The second step in starting Agile right is to identify and come up with your outcomes. You have a vision. You have an idea where you want to go and what it will look like. What outcomes do you want to achieve along the way to know that you're actually achieving and hitting that vision? And again, communication is key. Have lots of conversations. Set up opportunities for people to challenge what those outcomes are and if they are worth achieving. Once you have that in mind, then you can continue on in building out your plan and hitting your vision. The third step in starting Agile right is to understand and review what Agile actually is. There are plenty of misconceptions and myths and misunderstandings of what Agile is. But basically, it comes down to two things. It is around the being and the doing. It is around how you think, values that you hold, how you contemplate and pay attention to, how you show up is just as important as the doing, the practices, the tools, the interactions. Often, when Agile is done, it is done for the wrong reasons. It is done because some other organization is doing it, or because it's popular. And that's fine, but usually you'll get very low value and not achieve your goals and your vision. Instead, really review and understand what it means. Have a discussion around the mindset, things like collaboration, empowerment, unity. Have a discussion around the values and the principles of the Agile Manifesto. Why did these individuals get together and come up with this manifesto to describe how we could think through problems in a more collaborative, empowering, supportive, encouraging way? Then have the discussion around the practices, the tools, the frameworks, things like Scrum, Kanban, extreme programming, Open Agile, and many others. Then you'll be able to have better outcomes. Actually, we offer certified Agile training. The being and the doing, mindset, values, principles, practice, how it all fits together. Link in the description. We'd love for you to join us. Now back to the video. The fourth step in starting Agile right is all about setting an achievable goal. Making sure that your vision, your outcomes, and how Agile will help you get there can hit an achievable, short-term, and effective, powerful goal. This goal is to be something tangible, something that people can get behind, something that excites you and energizes you and can lead you to the future of your bigger outcomes and that potential large-scale vision. Do that, and you'll build buy-in, you'll get more conversation started, more discussion, you'll bring more energy to it, and hopefully also more people interested in participating in what you're doing. The fifth step in starting Agile right is to actually have a small group of contributors, participants, individuals that will work together to solve the outcomes, the goals, the vision, and understand Agile and use it well. These individuals need to be T-shaped. They need to have depth in one area, but broad understanding and skills across many. And they need to be cross-functional. They need to be committed. They need to be passionate. And they need to actually want to achieve your goal, your vision, their goal. It goes from you and I to us, to we. The sixth step to starting Agile right, and which is foundational to all the other steps, is to have a culture of learning. An environment, a space, a team, a company, an organization, an office, an apartment. Any of these things will do if it is focused on learning. That means that when something happens, we have an idea, when something happens, we take an action. From that action, we ask questions. Did it work? Could we do it better? We have passion about it. We have new ideas, and we cyclical through that. This learning process, this cyclical repeating, adapt and improve model, right, is really key to this whole Agile process, Agile mindset, the whole experience. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your comments and questions below. And if you found it interesting and useful, give it a like. Maybe even share it with your friends or subscribe. That'd be wonderful. Looking forward to the next video. Continue being agile. Keep learning. Thank you. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul Heidema, and I talk about agile transformation and change. So today we're talking about what is agile. Agile is really, really popular and often misunderstood. Agile basically has 4 parts to it. And those 4 parts are often not done well together. Where most people start is the lowest part on the totem, which is around practices. Practices include things like doing a daily stand-up in Scrum, or having reviewing the Kanban board in Kanban, or having cycles and iterations or sprints. These are all great process, practice, tools type stuff. This is kind of like what it looks like. And that's the lowest part on Agile. But if you want to really move up in Agile, you want to go beyond that. Where I recommend you start is at the mindset. The mindset is to do with how you think, trying to get into the right approach within your mind. How do you want to show up? The being of Agile. Often it's talked about the being and doing. Practice is the doing, and it gives you some value and some outcomes. But the mindset is where you start, gives you the best overall results and outcomes if you start with the being of Agile. Things like transparency, things like collaboration, things like empowerment. As you go lower down, you want to jump into values. And most values for Agile come from the Agile Manifesto, which was created in 2001 by a bunch of people trying to improve the way they do their work. And the values include things like individuals and interactions over processes and tools, which means basically the way that we discuss us being together, working through things, is much more important than the steps we follow. If we start at the level of practices, we get stuck in the various tools and steps. But if we go up to the values, we actually pay attention to that we matter, people matter. And the third one here, as you're going down, is principles. And principles are also taken from the Agile Manifesto. So if you use all 4 of these, the mindset, the values, the principles, and the practices, you have a much better chance of improving your overall outcomes and actually improving the culture of your team and organization. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and liking it. And stay tuned to the next one. Thank you so much, and continue being agile. Hello everyone, my name is Paul Heidema. I'm the CEO of Spark Acta Incorporated and an Agile coach and transformation expert. Today, we're going to talk about the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master has a very odd and powerful job within an Agile team. The name Scrum Master is kind of a misnomer and kind of confuses or can be confusing to many people. The Scrum Master is not the Master of Scrum. Their job is more like trying to usher in, guide, support, lead through much more softer skills to empower and bring about the best in their team. Now, there are some responsibilities of the Scrum Masters that are really important and critical for the team to move forward. Those include making sure that the team is empowered, that they are supportive, that they're supported, that they are filled with love and encouragement and feel compassion and listened to by not only their Scrum Master, but also their management, their stakeholders, and other teams. One of the critical elements of a Scrum Master has to do with making sure that those around the team and those within the team understand Scrum well and understand its purpose and its abilities to get work done with higher quality and get feedback quicker to make the product even better. And this can be missed often. Another one that is probably overemphasized is around the facilitation of meetings. Yes, there are these Scrum events or Scrum meetings or Scrum ceremonies, depending on how you talk about it. And those things are very important. But facilitation itself isn't the only thing. Facilitation is not just about making sure that meetings happen. It is not just about making sure that the purpose of each of them is fulfilled, but it is also that the team and those within each of these meetings feel that they are important members of that meeting, contributing participants in that meeting, and not those to just take in information. And what I've seen from really powerful and effective Scrum Masters is this fourth focus or responsibility for a Scrum Master is to build up the capacity of those team members, to identify and help team members self-identify where their strengths are, where their challenges are, what they're hoping to achieve, and bring that about to support them on a journey of learning, support them on a development experience, to help them build up skills, abilities, and ways of thinking that may not be possible when you first meet or when you first get together as a team. I hope that you found this interesting and useful to think about the Scrum Master role and the ability of this individual to really empower and bring about the best in that person's team members and the organization as a whole. If you have thoughts or suggestions or any ideas of what you've learned about this role, about this video, please put them in the comments below. And if you could and you enjoyed this video, like it and share it with your friends. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Keep on being agile. Welcome back to my channel, and today it is my honor to announce the winners of last month's giveaway. The winners are these two individuals. Each of you will get an Amazon gift card for $50. Thank you so much to the winners, and thank you to each of you for participating in this video and in this contest. It was so wonderful. Stay tuned to the end of the video as I have another event coming up. Today I'm talking about how to become an Agile coach. Luckily for me, in my career, I've been blessed with many opportunities to practice being an Agile coach, to being with other coaches, and to support teams, individuals, executives, and whole organizations. But I get this question all the time. What does it mean to be an Agile coach? How do you do that? What can you possibly learn and practice to become proficient in this amazing career, in this amazing opportunity? So a couple things I want to talk about. First, Agile coaching is not about Agile. Even though there is this idea of adapting and learning and helping other people, and that's wonderful. Really, Agile coaching comes down to a few things. Let's start with, what does it mean to be an Agile coach? It means to be someone that is trusted, that creates safety, psychological safety. So as an Agile coach, one of the first things you want to do is you want to build up trust. How do you do that? Listen to the people around you. Really make sure that they're heard. Care for them as they are your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your family. If you do that, you'll get much farther than trying to spout out any advice, trying to convince them of anything, or trying to be the smartest one in the room. Start with listen. Now that you've listened to them and you're actually showing respect and kindness to those people, which I think is really, really important, the next thing you want to do is you want to actually be there with them. Help them understand that you care about what they care about and actually try to experience what they're experiencing. So if they tell you a story about it's been really hard to get, to get in front of their management, then what you can do is you can say, okay, well, can I come with you the next time that happens? Or can I come with you the next time something challenging takes place? You're having a hard time with the meeting with your team? Well, as an Agile coach, can I just be there and observe and we'll have a conversation after? So you go to the meeting, you observe, you just watch what's going on, you notice the behaviors, you notice the words, you notice the body language. And after that, have a conversation with the person you're helping and ask them questions that get them to start thinking like an Agile coach does. What did you notice? What worked? What didn't? Did you notice the tone or the energy drop? Did you notice the tone or energy raise and get better? Where did you hear it? What happened when it went silent? What did it feel like for you? If you were to do it again, what would you do differently? That's probably the most common coaching question you can do, which is, now that you've experienced whatever you experienced, what can you do next? So you've listened to them, and now you're actually empathizing, sympathizing, experiencing what they're experiencing. Fantastic. What else can you do? Number 3 is probably the next most logical thing to do. You've listened, you care, you're with them. Now you want to propose an option for them. What kinds of things could you do? You've observed, you see an opportunity for learning. You could just tell them, I think you should do this. And that is one way to go. And I'm not saying that doesn't work. Just if you want to take on a very coaching way of working, it's really important to help them get on their own path, not your path. It's not about you. As a coach, it is about them. It is about the person you are helping, what they need, and where they want to go next. Just because you might know the right answer or the best answer doesn't mean it's the right answer or best answer for them. So you could propose it as options. You could say, we went to this meeting, you and I both observed things. What do you think a next step you could take to make it just a little bit better? What would that look like? They may suggest, well, maybe I can give a little context at the starting of the meeting to make sure everyone understands why we're there. Great, purpose. People can really buy into purpose. Or they may suggest, maybe I can prep someone beforehand so they can get on board and we can kind of move people together. Great. Or maybe they could propose that the structure of the meeting or the people at the meeting or the timing of the meeting isn't right. Awesome. All these things are valid, and there's infinite other ways you could do this. By getting them to weigh in what they want, they will buy in and they're more likely to do it. And that's what it's all about. Coaching is about action. First is about really understanding the point of view, helping them see options, and then helping them take action. So coaching is really all about helping them understand what happened, talking through it so you can see options, and then hitting that action, right? What can you do next? And then the fourth part that actually makes coaching a cyclical experience is actually stopping and reflecting on that action that took place. We didn't like the meeting. We noticed these possibilities of how to make it better. We chose one, and then after you choose it and you do it, you get them to reflect and say, well, did it work? What about it worked? What about it didn't? And then you go through that cyclical process again. It's all that learning. Agile coaching is all about learning. But it's about learning with someone else. This is not an independent role. As coaches, we may be individuals and not have any reports under us, and that's a freedom, that's a protection for us. But really, we are helping everybody. As an Agile coach, you have no authority whatsoever. And a lot of people find that difficult. But actually, it's very freeing. Instead, we have a lot of influence, but it's influence through behavior. As an Agile coach, that's what we get to do. I've been lucky to be able to do this for years now and get in front of people and really help them on their journey. This month's event is for me to give to a charity, and I wanted to give back. And I think it's so wonderful that we can do that. So for each person that subscribes, the total number of subscribers that I have at the end of April, I will choose one charity and give to them. Details coming soon. As always, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, as I have a new video each week on Monday for you to learn, to grow, and to just feel great about your day. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about how to improve as an Agile coach. Stick with me. Hit the like button, which really helps my channel grow and develop. My name is Paul Huitema, and I'm an Agile coach. I've been doing this since 2008, and I've been lucky to experience so many different industries, teams, and colleagues and executives in my journey since then to really develop my skills and to learn how to be vulnerable, courageous, and actually bring out the best in those around me. Dance break. Today we're talking about how to improve as an Agile coach. So if you're already coaching a bit, maybe you're a Scrum Master or a process facilitator or a Kanban process facilitator or something like this, and you're really trying to help your team get better. Maybe you're a manager and you want to improve and you want to move into coaching. I recommend that you watch my first video in this series about how to start being an Agile coach first, which will give you the foundation of how to kind of start thinking about what this means. Now that you've been doing it for a while, I hope, there's a few ways that you can really improve and to up your game as being an Agile coach. The first is actually the idea of continuous learning. So I highly recommend that you read a series of books on what it actually means. I'll put the link in the description for a bunch of books that I really enjoyed. One of my favorite ones is by Lisa Adkins called Coaching Agile Teams. And Coaching Agile Teams is really the idea about how to actually be a great Agile coach with Agile teams, which is such a groundbreaking book because it helps you really think through the challenges of doing this work in this industry, in this way of thinking. Now that you've taken it upon yourself to continuously learn, hopefully read some books, some articles, maybe watch some videos such as this one and many others. Now the second thing I want you to do is to join a community. So one of the ways to do that is to look around and see where are Agile coaches spending their time. There's a few that I recommend and I've learned quite a lot from and I contribute to as well. There are LinkedIn groups, there's a bunch of them and they're phenomenal and they really help you think through things and talk through and have a lot of discussions. There's meetup groups which are more interactive and connect with speakers and connect with discussions and take you through challenges and whatnot. And then the third thing I'd recommend is that you actually join communities such as my own on YouTube and connect with those Agile coaches that are really trying to teach new things, listen to what the audience is saying, and then connect back. These things around continuous learning in terms of a network can really help accelerate and grow your abilities to become a more effective and impressive and more influential, impactful coach. Because Agile coaching is really about connecting with people. And if you do that by connecting with networks and having community groups such as the ones I've talked about, it will really improve your ability to connect with others. This third thing is all about contributing yourself. One of the best ways to learn is by teaching others. I highly recommend that you start writing, that you start contributing, that you start engaging in various different groups and mediums. How I did this many years ago was to actually start writing articles on LinkedIn. I took it upon myself to write an article every 2 weeks for an entire year on LinkedIn. The first few times I started doing that, it was quite difficult and I felt stressed out and nervous about my ability to write something and put pen to paper or of course keyboard to computer and actually put it out there so others could read, and being worried of course what people would say. Instead what I learned is that people in general are quite encouraging, especially the Agile community. We're a very encouraging group. You can write articles in there, simple things, tell stories, ask questions, spark a conversation. And then as you contribute more, such as writing articles, you'll learn that actually it's pretty easy to do so. It only takes practice, and practice by getting feedback and looking at other articles and learning what they do. Outside of articles, you can also contribute by participating in discussions. So joining those media groups, as I talked about in number 2, you can actually sign up to or facilitate sessions for them, which would be a great way for you to be in the front and lead a little bit and give people space, creating the space and the opportunity for others to actually grow within those different meetups. Of course, you can also do YouTube videos like my own that I've been doing here. You can do so many other different mediums and ways to contribute. You can do a podcast, join a group or connect with people, have a call with people. There's all kinds of things you can do to put yourself out there and contribute your learning to others. Actually, through my certified Agile training that I do, I can help you get better in the mindset, the values, the principles, and even the practices of what Agile is really about. And then you can think about and adopt some of those things as an Agile coach. Link in the description if you want to sign up for that. I would love to have you in my class. Get better in their careers, learn about how Agile can help with that, and just become an overall better professional in your entire life. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked the video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out and helps grow my community as I'm trying to help you and many others get better in their careers, learn about how Agile can help with that, and just become an overall better professional in your entire life. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today we're talking about Scrum Master challenges. Before I begin, hit that like button as it helps grow my channel and reach out to a wider audience. Thanks so much. I reached out to so many of you through interviews, emails, and messages. And through those discussions, I came up with this list of 21 Scrum Master challenges. Let's dive in. Number 1, Scrum Master as an extra role. Sometimes when a Scrum Master is added to a team, they're not contributing members or not seen as contributing members. Instead, they're seen as just extra. They're not that important, but they actually are. What advice can I give you for this idea of Scrum Master is not an extra role? Look at videos that tell you about the magnitude and the size of what Scrum and Agile is really about. And then you understand why you need a Scrum Master. They help you navigate all these different things, help you think through what it means to do Scrum well. Number 2, Scrum Master as an admin. Sometimes the Scrum Master is added to a team they thought of as a secretary or book note taker or bookkeeper for meetings or facilitator of meetings. And they're there just to keep things there. Write it down. That's not true. Scrum Masters can actually do a lot more, really help you get past that. What advice can I give you for a Scrum Master being seen as an admin? Be more courageous in your role as a Scrum Master. Reach out to people. Engage in discussions that people might not have. Be seen as a value add, as someone that can really support and encourage and develop broader connections and better relationships across the teams and departments. Number 3, Scrum Master is not being necessary. Sometimes a Scrum Master is seen as just on the side. They're not important. It doesn't really matter what they're doing. Maybe they just facilitate a meeting here and there. But really they do. What advice can I give you? What advice can I give you for a Scrum Master not being seen as necessary? Well, connect with other Scrum Masters. Find out how they engage with management. And maybe even look up LinkedIn groups. There's a bunch of great ones that can really help you overcome some of these challenges and be seen as a value add, as someone that's adding more value and being more important, making things more important. Number 4, lack of commitment from management. Sometimes as a Scrum Master, you're trying to do all the heavy lifting. You're trying to actually shift a team to be more effective, work together, actually solve broader problems. And then you hit a ceiling and management's not helping you. They say, it's just a Scrum thing. It doesn't really matter. I've seen this in almost every company that I consulted with and trained with, where they actually don't see the value of this until later. They see this as an experiment, which is okay, or a pilot. What advice can I give you when there's lack of management support? Stop talking about Agile. Start finding out and identifying the problems that they're trying to solve. Improved customer satisfaction, market retention, engagement, quality, whatever these things are. Start talking about those things and helping them solve those problems. Agile is the vehicle to get to those goals. It is not the goal itself. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope this was helpful and it made you think about the Scrum Master as a much more important and valuable member of the team. Smash that like button and subscribe to my channel as I bring out a new video each Monday to help you get better, to improve in your career development, and to just improve in your relationships at work and in your entire life. Thank you so much. Have a great week. I'm laughing so much because of you. Can't even focus. I forgot what I was going to say. Okay. Every time you butt out, I have a hard time not laughing. You're like, me? I'm like, me. Masters, this is the list. Are you jumping? There's an earthquake going on right now. Welcome! Today I'm talking about Scrum Master challenges. Hit that like button as it helps to grow my channel and helps share with many others. Today we're talking about more Scrum Master challenges. This is part 2 in a series, talking about the challenges and issues and problems faced by Scrum Masters, and of course, what you can do about it. Stick with me. The first challenge is that teams can move and be broken apart. One of the biggest and most important values and opportunities gained with doing Agile well, and of course Scrum, if you're a Scrum Master, is if you have a team that stays together for an extended period of time. I'm talking for 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years. The opportunities of the education and knowledge transfer and the cohesiveness of that team is something that's really hard to measure, but has a huge impact on the ability of the team to take on challenges and solve problems that can't even be identified now, but in the future. One of the myths that Scrum Masters often face is that people are resources. We are not trees. I am not this t-shirt. I am a human being with abilities and qualities and interests and unique ideas and my personality and all these other things. And the value of me is not shown on a spreadsheet, but instead the value that I bring to the team is in direct proportion and relationship to those that I work with. So keep the teams together so they can become more and more excellent together. How do I help teams think about this and organizations think about and actually keep teams together? I'll show them data-driven articles from Google, Apple, Deloitte that actually look at this research, do a bunch of studies, and have identified that keeping teams together is better for them. It's much, much better for them. Because when they take on a product and they stay together on the product, or they stay together and they have all this interconnectivity, which means they can learn faster and they know how to actually where to go for what, it means they can take on things that are way beyond what we can imagine right now. And they can do things that are such a high quality that it can wow the entire organization. A second challenge is the fear of transparency. This comes from a place of uncomfortableness and the potential risk that if I share something, I could be hurt for it. And this comes usually in the form of the culture and the politics of the organization. What harm can it do? Well, it causes teams and management to not make good choices. If you don't know what's going on, you can't make informed, well understood, and thought through and discussed decisions. And this usually shows up when management, or anybody really in an organization, starts controlling and maintaining power, a small empire within the organization to say, this is where my power is. It sits in this group. What can you do about it? Well, start working with management to ask them, find out what they want to see, what they want to know about, what visibility and transparency do they need to make better decisions to do their job well. So start giving them that if you're on the team, you're a Scrum Master. Start helping them by showing them different things, giving more access to things, such as if you have a Kanban board or product backlog, give them access to see it whenever they want. So complete access for visibility. And then as you build that trust and show the value of doing that, ask them to give you a little bit more transparency. So over time, the end-to-end is known by the organization, the teams, and everybody else playing in it. Number 3, team success conflicts with individual success. This is a really big one. The job of the Scrum Master and Agile coach is to really help that Agile team succeed. Succeed as a team, not as one individual or another individual. This is all about the team performance and actually achieving better outcomes, not better output. It's not the number of things you get done. It is the quality and the ability to hit the needs of your customer and user group. This is really challenging because most of the organizations out there are focused on individual performance. How I do helps me in my career. How we do may not help me in my career. So what can I do? What's the tip? What I recommend you do to help with this one? First, work with your direct manager to create collective team performance goals. They could be on top of or in addition to your own individual goals. So you may have 5 individual goals that you want to do over the next 3 months, 6 months, or a year. And then maybe you just add one team performance goal that you get your manager to agree with and anybody else that works with your manager. And as that becomes more comfortable and management agrees with this, then you start working with HR to make it more open and more standard and offered more widely across the organization. Your ability as a Scrum Master is to help the team succeed. And to do that, you need other people to help. Management is a great place to start. The 4th challenge is around conflicting expectations from management. So you're a Scrum Master. You have one direct manager, but now that you're working with a team, you may have 3, 4, 5 other managers, sponsors, executives that want things of you. So what do? As a Scrum Master, you try to satisfy them all. You satisfy one, which is your manager, by doing what they want. Be productive. Check. Then you have another one that says, I want you to be able to solve problems. Okay, check. Then you want you to improve the quality of the software. Now I want you to have more output. Now we want to make sure we talk to these people. And it becomes this really heavy thing that you have to face as a Scrum Master. So what do? A tip I recommend is to work with your direct manager first and to identify very clearly 1 or 2 things that are expected of you as a Scrum Master and how that relates to the team. Then, with agreement with your manager, bring others with you into a conversation. Have a conversation with that manager and all the other sponsors and executives and management that ask for things of you or expect things of you as a Scrum Master. Discuss it as a collective, and then through that, get them to agree on 1 or 2 things that you are expected to do. Once that's done, it's considered good enough. Share that. Make this agreement visible to all people that interact with your team and with you. So that the next time someone says, I want you to do this, you can show them this and say, where does it fit? Does it fit here or here? Does it fit on one of those things? You can go talk to my direct manager and they can go figure it out. It's a way to take it off you, and then the agreement becomes visible, an information radiator, which is a way to actually share information by just making it visible. So you don't have that pressure anymore and you can get to your job, which is helping and supporting and coaching your team to be the best team that they can be. So what if you're a new Scrum Master and you're facing a whole bunch of these challenges? You're not sure what to do. Of course, you could listen to these things and try out these tips. But what if you want more information? What if you want to actually be engaged and be able to talk through and discuss these challenges and get the support? Well, I recommend that you attend my Certified Agile training, link in the description, so that you can actually get that information to be a more effective Scrum Master, an Agile coach, understand the fundamentals, and understand how it all connects together. My class is all about helping you get the mindset, the foundation, and the relationships of how this whole Agile thing works, so that you can make more informed decisions, you can be armed with practical techniques and tools, and you can have the thinking behind it so you understand when things go sideways, which they will, you actually know how to take it apart, solve it bit by bit, or see the whole picture and be able to understand how the parts all fit. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel as I bring in a new video each Monday, helping you achieve your goals as being a better professional, being a better Agile coach or Scrum Master, really supporting others as a manager and just bring out the best in who you are, what you can do, and then how you can actually support those around you. Thanks so much for watching this video. Have a great week. Welcome! Today we're talking about 4 Scrum Master challenges. This is part 3 in a series on helping Scrum Masters, Agile facilitators, managers, and coaches be more effective with their team. Hit that like button, it really helps my channel grow and expand to others. Let's get to it. Number 1, lack of Agile training for the team. Often when a Scrum Master is brought into the team is unaware or has very little to no experience with Agile. First thing, identify where their skill gaps are, their understanding gaps, in what you're trying to accomplish if you're doing Scrum or Kanban or extreme programming, whatever you're doing in terms of facilitating the team, and then start training them. Start with the team, train them on the basic mindset and thinking of Agile, where it came from, like the manifesto, and then move on to the tools, techniques, and practices. And secondly, once you've started training the team and coaching the team, the next part would be to coach and expand that out to those around the team. Management, stakeholders, other teams. Number 2, lack of understanding between those doing and those around those people. As a Scrum Master, your job is to help elevate and to grow the understanding, the experience, and the abilities of the team to get things done at higher levels of quality, excellence, and obviously achieving the ultimate goal, having happy customers. Often those around the team really don't understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. So the advice I would give you is to start having conversation with those around them. Invite them in to observe one of the Agile ceremonies and meetings. Invite them to discuss in a way that actually connects what you're doing to what they're doing. And then start expanding it out to offer trainings and small individually or small group focused training activities that can slowly encourage them to try to experience and to learn a bit about what Agile is really about. Secondly, when you're doing these trainings and these sessions, make sure to avoid using Agile terms such as product backlog or burn down charts. Instead, use terms that they would understand. A list of items that are prioritized, or a way to track as we're approaching the goal if we're actually making progress the way we hope to. As you use commonly understood terms and concepts, over time you can actually expand that out where you explain the common concept and then connect it to an Agile concept. Number 3, lack of time boxing for Agile meetings. Often when a Scrum Master is working with the team and those around the team, one of the duties is to help the team be effective in their meetings and ceremonies. So for example, if you're running the daily stand-up or daily Scrum, often that's time boxed to 15 minutes or less or 30 minutes or less. And the purpose of that is to achieve the outcome, the desired goal after every meeting. Unfortunately, when you end up having many people around it or new people to this experience, they often will derail it by bringing up new topics, things that don't connect to what you're doing, and that can cause a lot of harm. The advice I would give you is to start with one single meeting, maybe the daily stand-up, or maybe a backlog refinement meeting, or maybe a planning meeting, and get the team to commit to holding that meeting within the time box to achieve the stated goal. So if it's a daily Scrum, the idea would be for the entire team to understand where everybody's at and any blockers we have for us to achieve the goal of that day. Once you've done that, the second piece of advice would be to expand slowly out to other meetings and ceremonies. So over time, each of the meetings and the entirety of the Agile meetings allows for everybody to focus, get the work done, and if they have other things to do, they can do them after the fact. Number 4, inability to manage scope. As a Scrum Master, product owner, Agile facilitator, or Agile coach, often you are tasked with or encouraged to support and help others manage the requests that are coming into the team. So when a team first turns into an Agile team, they start taking on the mindset, the thinking, the principles, the values, the practices. There's a lot here to do. I recommend that you watch my video that talks about what Agile is. Link in the description. You will have to face many requests. Now in Scrum, if we're talking about a Scrum Master and a Scrum team, in Scrum, the product owner is the one that's tasked with and is given the responsibility to manage those requests and to manage the list of work called the product backlog, keeping it prioritized and keeping it visible for everyone to know what's going on. Unfortunately, these requests can come at many times through many people in many ways. So it can be through emails and messages or through any kind of documentation they may have. It could come through the product owner, or it could come through many other people. It could show up in different meetings and different conversations. It could be just off the cuff, or it could be something planned. All these different things can cause a lot of churn and disruption and make it really difficult to manage the scope well. The advice I give you is to work with your product owner and see each other as partners in this work to actually improve the ability of the team to be effective, productive, and increase their quality of excellence each sprint, each cycle, each release. The second piece of advice is now that you're working in partnership with the product owner or Agile coach or facilitator, you actually want to work together to actually manage the requests in some effective way. I would recommend that each time someone requests work into your team, you actually have a list of 2, 3, 4, 5 things in terms of what is needed to make sure that the request is considered good enough so you can look at it and then make a decision around priority. So maybe it's, does it hit the goal we're trying to do for the next release? If it does, then it can come into that release and then the product owner and Scrum Master can have a conversation on priority. If it doesn't, then you can push it back and say, I'm sorry, it doesn't fit in this release, but we can have that discussion later if you'd like, or put it further down in the backlog of lists of things we want to do. That way, there's a common understanding and you make it explicit that everybody understands what needs to happen for any request to come in and considered good enough that it could be prioritized. I hope you enjoyed this video around these 4 Scrum Master challenges that are commonly faced by Scrum Masters, product owners, coaches, facilitators, even managers. Because this job is hard. This work is hard. Trying to actually improve the way we work and be supported by everybody else, this is hard. Take the advice, try it out. Let me know in the comments what you think. What challenges have you faced? Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel as I bring in a new video each Monday to help you improve as a manager, as a professional in the Agile space, and just being great at who you are. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week. Welcome. This is 4 Scrum Master challenges. This is the 4th in a series about these Scrum Master challenges. Hit that like button as it helps grow my channel. Let's get to it. Number 1, Scrum is not only for development. This misconception reduces Scrum to a software development project management approach, which is unfair and untrue because really its huge benefit is that it is a learning framework where much can be learned and amazing things can be done. What can you do to overcome this Scrum Master challenge? First, I recommend that you do some research. Find out if your company or others like yours are actually doing Agile or Scrum outside of software development. Places like marketing, finance, research and development, manufacturing, whatever that looks like. Find opportunities and research papers and documents and stories that you can learn about and understand how it can be done in other places. Secondly, share this learning. Expose others to this understanding, these experiences, this learning, that Agile can be done outside of this space, that Scrum is applicable outside of software development. Once you learn about it and share it, now you can start applying just a little bit at a time. Maybe a single practice or a single principle, or maybe a conceptual idea, or maybe something you can do as a meeting. Start getting them to play with it so they see that it can be done outside of software development. Number 2, getting timely resolution outside the team. Often, teams, individuals, departments, even whole organizations don't understand the value and the timeliness of resolution and feedback and responses and answers to questions that Scrum teams, Kanban teams, and other Agile teams face. Their speed and their ability to adapt, which means something shows up, they learn from it, and they adjust, is really important and valuable in what makes Agile, and Scrum specifically as an Agile framework, an amazing learning framework. So it's really important that they understand this. What can you do to overcome this challenge? Build up trust and transparency. How do you do that? Well, have conversations, open dialogue about what's really going on. Help them to experience, see for themselves what's actually going on and the value in what's happening on your team. Do you have 1 week sprints, if you're following Scrum, that actually allows you to actually learn really, really quickly, and therefore a 1 day delay could actually throw off the entire sprint? Do you actually take on really big challenges, and therefore when a response comes late, it means that you could throw off not only the whole entire schedule of that work, but also maybe you actually are stuck and you're not able to move forward? Build that trust. Build that transparency. Build a relationship between you and others so they feel part of this, and learn to talk in ways that they'll understand. If you want to get more out of your role as an Agile coach, Scrum Master, or manager in trying to implement Agile well at your organization, I recommend that you attend my certified Agile training, link in the description, so that you can get more out of this and make better impact with your role, your team, and your organization. Number 3, unhealthy relationships between the Scrum Master and product owner. Sometimes when a team is formed, the Scrum Master and product owner see themselves as competitors in this team structure. Who is responsible for what? What leadership abilities do you have? Who will listen to who? What influence do we have? All these things can cause all kinds of struggles. It is important to remember that the Scrum Master and product owner are seen as partners in supporting the team to do the best they can, as all team members are part of this experience collective to be unified and produce great outcomes. What can you do to overcome this Scrum Master challenge? Start by learning about the other person. If you are a Scrum Master, understand what the product owner is trying to do, what struggles they have, what their reality looks like. Observe, partner with them, walk with them into their meetings, into their work. Ask questions to better understand, and learn to find ways where the two of you can collaborate and work together in a very positive way. The product owner is integral to a Scrum team being effective, as is a Scrum Master. Those two roles need to play well together. So the product owner sees the Scrum Master as someone that helps and wants to bring about the best of the team, and the Scrum Master sees the same in the product owner. By building this relationship, both of you will be happier and the team will be better off. Number 4, shifting mindset from waterfall to Agile. Once a team starts using an Agile approach, be it Scrum, Kanban, Extreme Programming, Open Agile, or some other Agile framework, it starts to create tension. There's a tug, there's a pull between the organization and the team. So you want to pay attention to that, because that tension can cause much stress, it can cause power struggles, it can cause all kinds of misunderstandings that will actually make it harder for both the organization and the team to be effective. What can you do to overcome this Scrum Master challenge? Well, the shift from waterfall to Agile can be painful for the team, but they're going through it together, so they feel that there's this mutual support. For an organization, you need to create adapters and opportunities to talk through this thing. So when you talk about one of the artifacts of Scrum as a product backlog, don't describe it as a product backlog, but instead to describe it as a list of items that you prioritize that are from the business and the customers. Find ways to talk with common language and common understanding. Find opportunities to talk their language, to help them understand, to be in their corner. If they see you as a partner, a true collaborator, if they see this as an opportunity to be more adaptive, which is the true value of Scrum, then they're more likely to want to work with you, and you'll be more effective, you'll produce better results, and everyone benefits. Thanks so much for watching my video. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, as I bring out a new video each Monday to help you grow in your career and become more effective as a professional. Have a great week. Welcome. Today I'm talking about another 4 Scrum Master challenges. Actually, instead of 4, it's 5 today, and it is the 5th in a series talking about these challenges. Hit that like button as it really helps my channel. Let's jump in. Number 1, lack of team space. This is a common problem. Often teams are formed for the duration of a project. What happens after the project? The team is gone. Instead, an Agile team, you want a team to last multiple years through multiple projects, potentially through the duration of the lifespan of a product, and even beyond. So what do you do if you don't have a team space and you're trying to get together and you're trying to actually have coherent discussion? The idea here is to give the team space that needs to actually work together in a common way and always have that open dialogue. The advice I give to you is to reach out to someone that can really advocate for your team. One example, when I was working as a consultant, I was working with this large organization, setting up a few teams, and we're going to roll out many teams later. And one of the things I talked to about is the value of having a team space and what they could do. You know what this leader did? He actually got rid of his big office and another office, took a much smaller office and turned those 2 other big offices into a team space so the team would have one simple, focused place to work all the time. Number 2, Agile meetings are not seen as valuable. Agile meetings are sometimes seen as just status updates or opportunities to tell someone else what's going on, and that's it. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Agile meetings are meant to be opportunities to collaborate, to work together, to get on the same page, to be unified, to understand our blockers. All these things can be quite valuable and impactful to what is going on in the project, in the team, and ultimately to the deliverables. The advice I give you is to actually slowly help people understand and educate them on what the purpose of each of the meetings are. For example, in Scrum, the daily Scrum, the one that is done every single day, this is not a status meeting. Instead, help them understand that this is an opportunity for the team to get on the same page, to learn from each other of what's going on, where things all fit together, and if we have anything on our way. Then, as others around the team understand its value, slowly expand to teach them about the other meetings and what their purpose are and what the value gained is if they're focused. Number 3, absent product owners. The product owner is a key role and focal point for the team to understand what's going on, a connector between the team and the stakeholders, and so everybody understands what's going on, what we're trying to do, and of course the priority of that list, so we can always do the most valuable stuff first, everything else second. And if the product owner is missing, if they are absent, if they are not able to put their time into the team because maybe they're on multiple teams or they have multiple roles, they're a project manager, they're a product manager, they're a marketing person, they're an AVP, they're a ... All these things can cause a lot of problems for the team when they're trying to get answers quickly and being able to make good decisions. The advice I give to you is if you are a Scrum Master, an Agile coach, or a team member, build a strong relationship with this product owner. This individual has a lot of authority and influence over what the team does. And you have an opportunity to really build a strong relationship through the mutual focus of the goal to build amazing things that produce great outcomes for our customers and stakeholders. So build that meaningful relationship so that the product owner wants to be there and is seen as a valuable member of this team. Number 4, multiple teams supported by a single Scrum Master. Each team needs, especially at the start, their own product owner and their own Scrum Master if you are a Scrum team. Because these roles and these duties are so important and are challenging to do well, you need people to focus on those 2 things. If the Scrum Master is actually focused on 2, 3, or 4, or even more teams, they're unable to actually give the time required to do what their main goal really is. It is not to get things done, but instead to bring about, to facilitate the support and bring out the best potential in the team, to help the team achieve excellence in how they interact, how they problem solve, what they can do. So the struggles of a Scrum Master are real if they have too many teams. The advice I give you is to work with management to allow the Scrum Master, if that is you or a member of your team, if they're the Scrum Master, invite them and encourage that manager to allow the Scrum Master to focus on one team and maybe put less energy into the second team. And to make this work, identify someone on that second team that can start shadowing you, could be supporting you, and can learn the Scrum Master role so they can become more effective and they can eventually take over that duty. So you can focus on one team and they can focus on the second team. That way, both teams get the support they needed, can take on the challenges and obstacles that are faced, and all teams will thrive. Number 5, bonus one. Constraints, constraints, constraints. In every Agile team, no matter if you're doing Agile or any other kind of focused approach, any kind of learning approach, there are constraints that must be dealt with. The challenge is some of these constraints are perceived constraints and some are actual constraints. Some are perceived and assumed that this is how things must be done. And others are actually what we can do based on the constraints that we have, such as a budget, or such as the lack of people, or such as the tools that are available to us right now. Knowing the difference between these two can make a big difference, and these constraints can really slow us down. My advice to you is to identify the difference between those things. Ask a series of questions, like using powerful questions, and find out which of these constraints are perceived and which ones are real. Identify them, make a list of these two things, and then have a discussion with your team, your management, and whoever else you think would be valuable to include so you can start figuring out a way to removing some of them. A simple thing could be a process constraint. If we check in our code as a developer, then we must follow this step, and this step. But what if that second step or that third step is actually not a real constraint, and instead it's something that people just do because people just did it before? So challenge yourself in that way. Challenge others. Challenge your assumptions. And make sure that those assumptions are actually clear and honest. So then you can tackle those obstacles and be much more effective as a Scrum Master and a team. What do you think of my list? Did I miss any? Is there one that you think is the most important Scrum Master or Agile coach challenge that I missed? Let me know in the comments below, as I'm trying to bring out the best content I can, and I would love to learn from you as you are learning from me. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel as I bring in a new video each Monday to help you become the best version of yourselves as a manager, Scrum Master, coach, individual, team member, whatever that is. You can do great things, and I'll help you with techniques, tools, and approaches to get your mind and your approach and your actual behaviors into a much better place. Have a great week. Welcome, this is another quick video. Hit the like button as it really helps my channel grow. Today, we're talking about coaching, the profession of coaching and what that means. We'll do this quickly and get you right to the key points. Essentially, coaching is about helping others grow and develop in what they're doing. So this video is a form of coaching, a video coaching kind of approach. Ideally, when you're coaching, you want to help people develop where they're at and what they can do next, from where they want to go, not where you want to go. So one of the first things you want to do with coaching is really about listening, getting a sense of where people want to go and what they're willing to do. One of the things I do really quickly when I'm helping with teams, individuals, executives, is ask a lot of questions and try to find those that are willing and able to move forward. And those are the ones I work with. Coaching is also about really engaging at the level of the human being, who I am as a whole person, not just who I am at work or at home or in this role or in that task. As you engage with them as a whole person, you can get a better sense of what they're all about and what they need. And sometimes the advice and support and guidance you give could be around their role and their job. It could be also around their entire person and what they want to get out of life. Coaching essentially is about that. Helping people get better in what they do and who they are. Thanks so much for watching my video. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel as I bring in a new video each week. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. 3 tips to be more effective as a coach, manager, or facilitator. Number 1, 3 levels of listening. Level 1 is focusing on me, not you. So I keep going back to my mind and I keep getting distracted about how I'm going to answer you. Number 2 is I focus on you, and every time I get distracted, I come back to you. I listen to you. I have blinders. I'm focused. Number 3 is global. I'm focusing on you, and now I understand our relationship and the environment around us. Number 2, powerful questions. Powerful questions are questions that don't have judgment and cannot be answered through a single word. An example of a powerful question is, what makes you think that? Or another example is, why would you feel this would be valuable for us to do now versus later? These questions can really expand out our learning and can achieve better outcomes. Number 3, act as a facilitator only. When you're coaching, working as manager, if you want to actually allow others to really expand and talk better, and you're trying to problem solve, or you want them to actually accomplish something really important, tell them, be explicit that you are acting as a facilitator. Hold the space, make it safe, check in with people. Do not contribute to the content. Instead, pay attention to the context, which means when people are struggling with each other, get them to step back, help them identify the struggle, get them past the struggle, and then bring them back to the content. So that when they have discussions with you, they may even ask for that. Hey, Paul, could you help us facilitate this session? You're so great at it, and you keep us away from the challenges of the context because you're watching it, so we can focus on the content. Thanks for watching my short video. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Have a great week. Growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Let's go. Stay tuned to the end of the video as I have a free giveaway each month. First, let's look at skills. In a fixed mindset, it's whatever you're born with or the skills you have. They cannot change. In a growth mindset, I can keep working. I can work harder. I can develop and I can learn new skills. Second, let's look at challenges. In a fixed mindset, these are things to avoid. This may even reveal a lack of skill. It's risky. In a growth mindset, these are things to embrace. These are opportunities for learning and growth and opportunities to expand your knowledge. Third, let's look at effort. In a fixed mindset, these are things to avoid. Don't spend effort here. In a growth mindset, these are things to persistently move towards and potentially could lead to mastery. Fourth, let's look at feedback. In a fixed mindset, you would be defensive, may get defensive, and may take it personal. In a growth mindset, this is something useful, something to learn from, may give you an area to improve. And fifth, let's look at setbacks. In a fixed mindset, you would blame others. You may even get discouraged and it will stop you from even trying what you're doing now. In a growth mindset, setbacks are opportunities to work harder, to find a new way of doing something, to learn from your mistakes. So obviously a fixed mindset can be quite challenging, be discouraging, cause you to blame others, to stop. But a growth mindset can really help you open up to possibilities, to see the opportunity for learning, to continue to accelerate, and to expand your knowledge, and to get better. Thanks for watching my video. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel as I bring out new videos each month, helping you achieve better, continuing to learn, and show up as your best self. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. The giveaway this month is an Amazon gift card. I'm going to select one person to give that to, and all you have to do to enter is to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and comment down below in this video. I'll see you next time. Bye. Adapting to change. Let's go. One of the greatest elements of life is change. And our ability to adapt to that change is really important. Smash that like button below. And I greatly encourage you to subscribe as I put out new videos every week. I'd like to share a personal story with you. One that was very painful and really difficult to go through, yet provided a lot of perspective and learning for me. A couple of years back, I was working for a startup and I was really excited, just so pumped up that I got to be part of the executive team and that I was able to and had the opportunity to provide so much more guidance, support, leadership with a much larger group. As I started working there, I started meeting all the different executives, getting a sense of what the teams and groups were doing, and trying to make a positive impact on what was going on. And I was building relationships. I thought it was going well. In a little over 2 months, I was let go. I was depressed. It was really painful. It made me think I failed, that I made all the mistakes. And at the same time that I was let go, that my wife and I bought a new home. So not only did I not have a job, but I had a new home with a much larger mortgage. And I felt that pressure, that massive pressure to succeed, to support my family. I've never felt so much pressure. It took me a long time to get over that. And I can still feel that scar. Luckily, my wife, who is absolutely incredible, she helped me get perspective on what this was all about, on how I tried my best. I did what was asked, and yet they were unable to give me that support, encouragement, and guidance to do my best within their environment. It wasn't the right fit. It was actually a kindness that I was let go, because that environment was quite painful for me. I saw some of the toxic behaviors, some of the painful and disrespectful comments that would be given to people across teams, across management. And I was lucky that I was freed from that place. A couple months after, I was able to join and work as an Agile coach, as I've done before, and do this consulting that I've done for many years, with a longtime friend who I helped on his journey to be a Scrum Master and a coach, which was really wonderful. I was able to actually work on the thing that I absolutely love. It's helping to bring about a better culture, a healthier culture for an organization. I was able to work with all the VPs and the SVP in that group. I was able to interview and do a workshop with that executive group. I was able to actually get to know what they were looking for, help them uncover that. It was truly amazing. We have change all around us. When we're young, we learn how to mouth words. We learn how to walk. We learn how to discuss. We learn how to think. We learn how to problem solve. We learn how to learn. Adapting to change is really, really important. Within one's personal life, we have all kinds of challenges that are presented in front of us. Will we get along with someone? Will we be able to understand this question or this problem put in front of us? How will we interact with our family? But at work, it gets more intense because those people that support us, our family, are often not there with us at work. So we must find new friends, new colleagues, a new support system, and that can be hard. But I want you to know that if you surround yourself with the right people, with supportive, kind, encouraging people, it can be much easier. Over the last 12 or so years, working as a coach, consultant, working at many different companies, as either an employee or as a contractor or consultant, I've learned a lot about how to adapt to change. A lot of the work I've done is about supporting and encouraging people to be able to handle that change in a more healthy, productive way. The idea of being agile, agility, adapting to that change, and being able to do it together in a very unified way. Check out the video that I talk about new to Agile, which will tell you what this is. Whenever I think about working as a consultant, there's a lot there too, such as working with your boss and the challenges of working with your boss when the boss may not be supportive, or worse yet, maybe toxic. My last video was around that, around how to handle and get through working with a toxic boss or toxic manager. Those things are really important. Being able to work together as a team, to work cohesively, with kindness, in a very unifying way with one's manager, with one's staff, with one's colleagues. Those are all really crucial things that can make work life feel like a good life. My dad would often talk about the idea that change is inevitable. Change will happen. But growth is actually optional. We have the opportunity to adjust, to think of every opportunity as a learning opportunity. So sometimes going through a painful experience leads to something much better. Every change is an opportunity. for growth, for learning. Change is an opportunity. Will you seize it? Thank you so much for watching. Smash that like button below. And I greatly encourage you to subscribe as I put out new videos every week about motivation, education, inspiration to really help you get further in your career, in your life, in your relationships. Thanks.